Hey, long time no see, everybody. Haven't dropped a video in a while, so wanted to drop something just to talk a little bit about some of the tools that I've been creating. And one of the new ones that I just released today, just in this post right here that you're probably watching, hopefully you're watching this, is a tool that I call the Claude Session Analyzer. So one of the things that we've been looking at doing is trying to figure out how to um, cut token costs like everybody in the world is, reduce our spend on, our lovely Anthropic bills, and figure out like how we can make things more efficient and find, errors. But some of that requires you to understand what's actually going on underneath the hood. So I built this small tool that is really a log analyzer for Claude logs. There's a few others that I've seen out there, but it didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. So let me go ahead and walk you through what this tool is and how it works. It's a Python tool, so real easy to install. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. And so let's do the screen share of Doom. Of course, that is the screen share of Doom. All right. And so here we go. So you can see my screen share of Doom going. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and type in CSA, Claude Session Analyzer, and we're going to enter the TUI, so the text UI. And so this is going to go out there and scan your local machine. So no data is uploaded. This is all local, and it's going to pull all of the agent session logs that are on your box. You can do it in a local session if you just want to, but you'll get all of the details on how much you spent on each one of these. It's an estimate, how many tokens were spent on each one. You can sort by any of the columns if you want to see how many sessions or subagents you used, the cache, you want to see the time, things like that. You can do that. Now, this allows you to drill into any one of these. So if I go to Steel here and I'm going to go through, and you can see all the sessions on my Steel project, which is out on Yonk Labs right now. It's an open source project. You can see that I spent money on, several different sessions to do different things. I'll drill into this one really quick. Here you can stop and you can see that there is, each individual call. So these are the turns. And if I go into a turn, I can see exactly what happened based on that prompt or based on that thing. So here's the actual output, right? So if I go through and I scroll through a little bit more, I can click on any one of these and I can drill in to see what's taking the most time. You also see that there's some friction in this one as well. So you can see friction. But if I go back out, I can choose another view of this same thing. So if I wanted to see, for instance, the files that were causing me issues or that I've been working on the most, I can drill into files as well. So there's files. And then for that file, I can see which sessions are actually, editing that file. All right. So from there, I can, again, go back in. And if I take a look here and just, look at the tools as opposed to the files, I can see what tools are being called. And so you can see here like tool search and stuff. Now, if I close out of this one, oh, wait, if I hit G, I can show graphs for each of these for each day. So if you wanted to see like each graph each day, and you could choose the day that you wanted to browse into, you can do that as well. But again, like there's some different things that you can do in here. One of the other things that you can do that's kind of interesting is you can run a skills check. So instead of looking at your tokens or your spend based on like the individual files or, the sessions, you can actually look at your skills and how many of your skills were actually called. If you're like me, you've got a lot of skills, but I'm really surprised that they're not called more often. And so there's some of these like mission brief and stuff that I call more often than not, but I can get down to the nitty gritty details on what's, it's calling even. So I can drill down into those skills and I can see which ones aren't even being used. And then I can ask why. Okay. So this is a tool that allows you to do that. Now, you can also look at your MCP calls. So again, most people think, oh, I have an MCP server, I'm always going to use it. That's not the case. So this helps you kind of identify which ones are actually going to, show up and not. So anyways, that's the tool in a nutshell. Download it, try it. I'd love your feedback. Just let me know what you feel about it. I'd love to hear more from you.